All right, I'm going to do this. Hopefully, you guys can appreciate it. I had a problem, and for whatever reason, my microphone was muted, but it was a good episode. Yeah, so for an hour and a half, I'm going to talk over. I'm going to talk over the video for you, and I apologize if there's no sound. I don't know what to tell you. Let's just let it roll. We'll get it out of the box, and hopefully this will work for you. Maybe I'll shorten it. Maybe I'll shorten it some by moving on, and you guys will like it better this way. You see, we're going into the game. I can't believe I'm doing this. We should just start back and do the day over again. But I'm going to give this a shot and see if it's something that you guys hate, like, whatever. We'll do what we got to do, right? Yeah, at the beginning of this, I'm going through and I'm just kind of looking at what the dockyard looks like, the losses. We're going to shorten this up. I'm going to advance it because I just think it's going to be too much. Let's advance it 30 seconds, another 30 seconds. I'm talking through a lot of stuff here. And the reason for that is we're going to do something later on. So we're going through a lot of supply stuff. We're letting the clock roll. Again, I apologize for this. It wasn't something that I planned on doing. It just kind of worked out that way. We're still trying to even out our balance on supplies and so on. Let's get right into some of the important fun stuff in this video. This is going to be short probably because I'm advancing. I'm having a little difficulty with my head as far as, acknowledging where all my ships are. I'm trying to make sure that we have defense forces over all of our bases that we need. And I've moved some around instead of just adding ships to the fleet. And that's a mistake. So I need to stop doing that because now I'm having troubles as to where are all my ships and how come they're not covered. This Philippines thing really kind of bothered me, so I tried to figure out what I could do to fix it, and this is what I've come up with. Yeah, this is all just kind of, me struggling with figuring out what we want to do. Force Z, we're determining what we want to do with this battle group. They're not getting attacked, so we're deciding to go into this base here in Malaya, and we're going to bombard it. It's got some airfields and some ports that we want to get rid of. The air specifically. And we're going to do it kind of risky. So that's just what we're going to do. So let's get into some of these are just me coordinating fuel. Again, Peleliu, we want to get to a max level airfield. It already has a rearmament airfield. So that's one of the things we're doing. Again, here I am just struggling with, making things even and make sense. We're coordinating our supplies between Midway and Wake Island. And the purpose of that is so that we have one supply group at Wake and another at Midway, and they cross each other. They leave their prospective islands at the same time, so that we are more efficient, I think is the right word. So we're moving right along. A lot of things I'm renaming. I'm still coordinating some supplies. Again, this is an hour and a half video that I'm cutting down for you guys to save most of that because I'm talking over the game. I'm not recording. This is a recording that I did thinking my microphone was on, but it wasn't. Hopefully this one will be. And you see Force Z here. what we're trying to do is coordinate nighttime advancement to Brunei. So I have to coordinate it. Right now it's 5 o'clock in the morning in the video right now, and we're trying to figure out what's the distance to stay out of air cover radar before we make our advance. So I'm making these routes to try and solve that. Unfortunately, some of that is not going to help. I'll let this part play because I think it's probably a better part of the game. How far are we into this one? I don't even know. I don't know. Let's do one more click. Okay, so we have our kingfisher, and this is one of those things where I was saying the halibut is on the surface. I'm telling you to say, hey, is it going to be minus 30 or is it going to be 0? And for whatever reason, the submarines are on the surface all the time, and that's bad. I try and get them to dive before we go into the start menu, but it doesn't seem to really matter. We have a serious issue. These white and green bombers, they can just drop a bomb on us and we'll be done. So I was a little aggravated at this point of the game. I'm not touching my microphone to any of this, so it is, in front of my face, and I just talk into it. We are starting to dive now, and I'm looking for where the aircraft are, and they're going after the Kingfisher, which I guess is a good thing because this guy is coming after us. If they just decided to go for the halibut instead of the Kingfisher, I think the sub probably would have been sunk because they're hiding away. The halibut is now below the surface and safe. We don't need to go down completely, so we put us at 160. So moving on from that fiasco, halibut, I decide, is being silly with how she stays above on the surface. I'm going to move her out and in a little bit so that maybe she has a better chance and surface during the day, or go under the water during the day and surface at night if that's what you want to do. I'm thinking about maybe what do I want to do with that Beaufort, and I decided against expanding on that. So let's move on. Okay, so here we are. We're at the first Force Z engagement. Valiant, Queen Elizabeth, or what is it? Yeah, Valiant, Queen Elizabeth, and Warspite are our battleships. And the rest is all Force Z destroyers and escorts. And what we have coming in at us are 9 dive bombers with the crazy bombs that like to sink ships and damage them really badly. And I decided to play this as a little bit of a let the game do its thing as part of a playthrough, I guess. And we'll just see what happens in the engagement. Again, I'm sorry I don't have sound. I am kind of maneuvering the ships to turn. I'm trying to also probably direct fire. But the ships are going wild crazy. I had them try to do a right-hand turn following the destroyers, but the battleships decided to turn left for whatever reason. As you see on the mini-map, they are all doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and I go up to the aircraft, I think, to... I'm designating the lead plane to try and get some shots on the enemy. And they are, of course, close. So I'm trying to focus in some of the fire. And the purpose behind that is to, you would think that the ships, they're all on anti, the under the attack button right here, you see the airplane icon. That's supposed to suppress anti-air, or it's the anti-air shooting down, aiming at planes. It's on, so they should be shooting. All ships should be shooting. So there should be an awful lot of shooting from the ships, but apparently there's not a lot. So it's at this point that I decide to break the group up a little, and I decide that anybody that's in a position to maybe shoot at these aircraft coming in, I want to make sure that they're targeting or they're moving in a direction to, do some good. And then I decide to let's see where we're going to go and what's coming after us and what the result will be. And you can tell I just got done recording this live, basically, and now I'm doing it all over again. My voice is shot. Not to mention when I previewed it before here they come in. They're coming in. So 1 shot down, 2 shot down, but the bomb's out. And he got away, actually. So that's a good hit. It's a Valiant. No, Warspite. So there's more coming in. He's diving in. He's going after the lead battleship. I'm moving my camera all over the place so you can't see anything. Yeah, there you go. So the bomb's already released. Boy, does this make you guys dizzy when you watch these? I'll have to think about that when I'm recording from now on. So yeah, that's a pretty good shot coming right down into us, I think. And it hits center mass. That'll maybe be your screenshot. We'll see what happens. But those are, 2 big hits. And no fires, apparently, on the Valiant. Which is amazing. It just went poof. And I think we shot down 5 of the 9. Am I remembering that correctly? So this engagement, we fared pretty well, actually. But then I go into this diatribe of talking about the anchor. And the anchor refers to the slowest ship in a fleet of 10 ships. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to look and see. I talk about the damage and repairables versus non-repairables. You have to evaluate what ships are going to help you and which ships are going to hurt you. And I noticed that there's a small ship that had some smoke coming off of it, and I didn't even notice that it got hit. The Valiant was apparently hit by a bomb, and on those planes, the 800 kilogram dive bomber bomb on a Vampire should be, or on Valiant, right? Valiant? Yeah, this guy got hit. Maybe it was just splash damage, because I think one bomb on this guy would have probably sunk him. But he's just minor damage, so he's going to be fine. So after the engagement's done, I basically stop all the ships where they are so that they can work on damage control, and then just let the ships repair. So that's basically what happened there. We are still waiting for repair and so on. So I'm going through and I'm looking at the ships and what the damages are. 30 seconds remaining. We're still not. We're starting the engines up again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing with the formation to see which ships are slowing us down and do I need to move any. Let's see if we can pump again. So as we see here, the battleships, I have these two in line, center line, and one on the outside. And we have to determine which is the slowest. And we look at the mini-map and you see the Queen Elizabeth is faster than the Valiant, and it goes right through the ship, which I hate. Game should allow those ships to avoid each other. And you say, well, there's an anti-collision button right here. If you look here, when the thing goes, it's going to go away. Next time, take a look when it pops up. You'll see what I'm talking about. This button right here, that button is on, and it says anti-collision is what that refers to. It's so that ships don't run into each other. Well, that's on, so it's not heeding to my words, and they just drifted right through each other, which is kind of silly. But as you see, we have some speed differential. So I'm going to speed up and change it. And you see how these guys avoid each other, right? I'm moving the slow ship to the outside. Valiant is switching with Warspite, as you see over here. And they are going to, of course, one tries to avoid, but the other's just stupid. He's changing positions. And again, the Norman is full speed, okay, but the Warspite is slow. So the Norman doesn't know what to do, so it's going in these crazy circles. She can maintain a faster speed than the battleship, so I decide, okay, we need to relocate you. So we swap it out with another ship position-wise. Now we're going back on and we're looking at the damage of the ships, and we see that the engineering spaces are what slow down the ships. So no damage on Queen Elizabeth. See how one engineering on Valiant. So we're going to swap them. So Valiant's at the back, and Valiant and Warspite. This is where I determined Warspite should be behind Queen Elizabeth and Valiant should be on the outside, so that Valiant doesn't hold up Norman and so on. So we're going to switch 2 and 8 in this scenario. I feel bad for doing this over mic talk of the video. It's so, I don't know how to verify that my mic is recording other than the green dot that says it's not muted. And I didn't change anything in how I do my recordings, so I don't know what happened, but something just decided not to record my voice, and I wasn't noticing it. So I switched them around. Let's move it on again. And now we are it's only 1 p.m. and I was almost going to go in and start a bombardment, but I decided, no, we need to kill some time. It's 1 p.m. I need to go to after 1900 before I go in. So I'm trying to determine, that's 9 hours, but that's a mistake because the first part of that turn was 4 hours, which would put us at 5 p.m. but it didn't matter because they already knew where we were. So they're coming in again for us. And I decide that we're going to keep tight, right? No? Oh, yeah, this is the first time I want to adjust. And then we'll probably turn into the aircraft when they show up. Mini map. Yep. So we're going to probably send a bunch of ships off in their direction to try and minimize the damage. In the past, I've noticed that a lot of the times they go after the same ship that was targeted in the first engagement, or they all focus on one ship. Now, the people that program this game, there's something to be said, and I'm adding into this as I talk because I need to talk about something, I guess, to keep you guys interested, is that if the whole game, imagine the whole map, and you say aircraft are going to attack a fleet, like we have in this scenario. So there's 9 aircraft coming in against our ships. Now, you'd think if a squadron of 3 aircraft were coming in to bomb, they would pick a ship, the other group would pick a ship, and the last group would pick a different ship. So it would be 3 different ships that would be attacked. That makes sense, but I've rarely seen that in the game. And here we are, we're getting ready to have an engagement, and let's see what they're doing. We're turning, which makes them have to target. Their targeting is a little bit off. They adjust, but think of it as when we go into the same scenario reversed and we hit the attack button, that makes all the aircraft in a group, in this scenario, group of 3, go after the same target as the lead. But we have to manually do that. If we just hit attack and there's no target selected, our aircraft won't attack anything. They'll say no target selected, so we have to select a target. I wish the game made things a little bit more accurate, and they said different groups, they could attack the same target if it was a priority dangerous target. You know, you prioritize what ships are most important. In my opinion, it would be aircraft, battleship, cruiser, light cruiser, destroyer, and right on down the line. Or if it's an invasion force where it has destroyers and a whole bunch of supply ships, then you want to stop the invasion. So you would automatically say, in this scenario, aircraft should be attacking the supply ships. The game doesn't do that. The game picks a random ship in a group, and I think they mostly all go for the same ship. But we're going to see here that that kind of doesn't always work. And these guys are dangerous too because of the bombs they carry, and they're very accurate when it comes to dropping bombs. Again, I wish I could make some propeller sounds or gunfire sounds for you, but I can't. Again, I apologize. I don't know what I did wrong. I know when we first started making these videos, I put out a video or 2 with my webcam before I got this microphone that didn't have sound either. Apparently people watched them anyway. So the bombs are away, and they're going after a destroyer, which I'm happy about at the time. I was like, wow, okay. And this guy's going pretty good speed and turning, and he doesn't get hit. And I'm totally cool with that. That's a waste of 3 bombs that could have been targeted at battleships. And here we are. We have the Valiant? Yeah. The Valiant is being targeted, I believe. If not the Valiant, I don't know what those aircraft are going after, but I'm trying to coordinate my ships to shoot, and here I am noticing the Express has just got hit by a bomb. Now, at the time, I didn't even see where that happened from. I didn't notice the aircraft. Apparently, I thought the group 4 through 6 were going after Valiant, but they dropped on Express, which is a low-value target. Why wouldn't they go for the battleships? And now here we got, 7 through 9 coming in, and they're not going after Valiant or Express, but now they're going after Valiant, which is the good choice. So they are making choices, but the drop seems way off to me. That seemed way early, but maybe they're just going fast. And we go to the Valiant and take a look and see what happens. And I'm expecting not that. I expected it to be hits, but no, they missed. And the Valiant is perfectly fine. And then we praise the flying of the aircraft not crashing into our ships. And I'm very happy at this moment because I figured that for sure, we were going to lose some ships in this. But no, we didn't. Yeah. Destroyer got hit. And I think that was it. So let's move it on and see. So yeah, Vendetta had some damage. And here I am again. I'm adjusting and complaining about collisions and things like that. But their aircraft I believe, chose poorly on what ships to attack. There were, 9 or 12 aircraft that came in, and they only targeted one battleship, and they did it poorly. I would have, if it was me, I would have gone for all 3 of the battleships and forget all the little ships. So their prioritizing, for me, I think is broken. It should be better than it is. And of course, the collision is just insane, in my opinion. So we are making sure everybody's fixed. And I think I make some adjustments with some of the destroyers and get them to, I'm checking max speed now. That's why I took the number 1 Valiant, put her at max speed, and see where we stand. And I think I apologized a few times about why this is a boring part of gameplay, but to me it's still gameplay. And again, I coordinate on the mini-map over here a direction for Valiant to go, and she refuses to turn. She's still in her left-hand turn. So now I readjust, and now she's turning to the right. And I think I just move on from there. Yeah, the craziness of some of these ships just bothers me. But we're coming in to seeing who's fast and who's not. And we see over here this ship, the Empress, Express, is faster than the Vampire. And we decide to switch them around because of the damage. You guys don't care about any of that, do you? Okay, so now I'm reevaluating the formation and seeing what ships need to be where and what's the best position for protection. So I see the engineering on Valiant is 1 down. So she's slow. And then I look at the Express and the Vampire and say, we need to have the slower ships at the back. Warspite's good for speed-wise. Magazine, cargo, and engineering on Express. So she needs to be back. She's going to be slow. So that's what I do there. I move them around and adjust. So now we're being attacked again. And here it's nighttime. I'm checking, as we see, we have aircraft coming in, a bunch of aircraft. A bunch, how many? 1, 2, I don't know, maybe not that many. 4 aircraft. So we're turning to give them our broadside so that we can get all our guns on target. We lead with the Valiant, and then I try to do a mass targeting. It doesn't allow that in this game. So we either let them shoot on their own, or we individually target individual aircraft and hope for the best. So these are the dive bombers coming in, and they are in a really close position. I guess we could have a scout out, and that would be better, so that we could be better prepared. But they're in a position to attack us where we can't do much at all. If they would individually attack instead of group attack, I think it would be more accurate, but the game doesn't do that. They go in it as a group like this, and then if they can get on target, they can. And they all select the same target, which, take it for what it's worth. So everybody is shooting. You get shot down. I click on the next one so we can get a better vantage. They're going for the number 2 battleship. Yeah, number 3. So they're going for the 3rd, which is the most damaged. And as soon as they make their turn, they all get shot down, which is, I'm praying, don't hit one of my ships. Don't hit one of my ships. Because if they hit one of our ships with that bomb on hand, it's worse than the bomb hitting, I believe. And here we are. We've survived this engagement that I was very surprised for our guys to get through. Now we're coming into why we came here in the first place, which is shore bombardment. And there's the first one. You only get 3. Doesn't matter how many ships you have, you only get 3 presses of the button. We brought it down to a 2 and 2. These are always kind of fun to do because you don't know if it's going to destroy the port or the airfield where it prioritizes. And we got both 1 to 1. That's odd. And then we come back again, and for the final kicker, I checked the ammunition on the 3 ships that are actually participating. And I explained the other ships don't have above 8-inch shell and so on. So we got one more shot, one more press to the button, and we want the airfield to go, not the port. We don't care about the port. We want air cover to stop harassing us. So I take bets and ask people what they think will happen, and we hit the button, and we got rid of the airfield, which means we can escape out of there without another air attack on Force Z. Very pleased about that. And, we took some damage. We did. But we actually did something in the war. We all know what happened to Force Z in history. If you've done the research, they were sunk. Majority of these battleships were sunk over here. And the rest of this is me saying, let's get him back to Peleliu, rearm. We may post Force Z off the coast of Brunei just because. And now I'm moving in the halibut, who decided in this water it wants to stay above the water line, stay surface, which is dangerous with aircraft around. Now I don't care because there's no aircraft in the area. Singapore is the closest, and then Manila after that. And if they get caught that far out, so be it. So with just about 5 minutes left in this video, the rest of it is me basically talking about how that engagement went and other things. And then I just dilly-dally saying thanks for watching the video, and then I proceed to go on playing with supply chains and seeing where everybody's at and moving supplies around. And yeah, I'm not going to waste your time with that. So I'm going to pause it right here, and we're going to say thanks for watching the voiceover. I apologize. I'll work it out for my next video and double verify. If this video works, if you see this video, you know I fixed the problem. I may not have known what the fix was. I think I just unplugged my microphone, plugged it back in, and rebooted my PC, and that worked. My mousetrap of a brain can't handle the PC stuff. So, yeah, advice, if you have it, if you got a suggestion that will make me do this video stuff better for you guys. I've heard about OBS maybe as a recording software I could use that would visually allow me to see if my microphone is actually recording my voice. But yeah, I did what I could. I turned an hour-and-a-half video into 36 minutes, and I apologize again. I'll see what I can do about giving you the full versions without any errors. So option F was to go back to the previous save and do the whole day over again. And yeah, I didn't want to do that because it never works out the same twice. If you do the same day twice, which I've done before, and I thought it was kind of cheesy. So I decided not to do it this time, and I do the voiceover, what I actually recorded and what actually went through the game. So thank you for watching. I apologize. I will make it better next time. So thanks again.